Hi there guys, it's Baxter here and I'm just about to do some cooking, so I thought I might as well share it with you. This is how I usually just do my chicken, and today I'm doing a little bit different with my beef today. Usually I just do beef mince and stuff like that, or maybe steak, but today I'm doing some nice little burgery type things, just without the bun. So yeah, let's get to it. Right then guys, so here's what I've got today. I've got a few little bits of herbs here just to make it taste nice. Got an onion for the burgers, a few little more flavourings there, salt and things like that. Then we've got the meat, that's 95% lean, just beef mince, nothing major. And then we've got the chicken breasts in there, which I've washed already, but I'll wash again just before we start cooking them. So there we go. Right then, we're going to start with the onion. Just dicing really. But what I've done is I've just basically peeled the onion back, and I've left on like the roots. Now just around there you're actually going to get all the oils where you kind of cry. So hopefully, fingers crossed I don't cry. I always do, so I just get used to it. We'll just go down the centre there. Nice and easy. I usually use a smaller knife just for this. Again, it's all personal preference, but you just want nice fine dice if you can, just so it's nice and it looks presentable, you know. So while you've got this on going, you might as well get the oven going. It's always good to have everything nice and warm ready for you. So what I've done is I've just put the oven on gas mark 5, which is usually on like fan assisted around 200, 180 degrees. So if you do that, then that's just ready for your chicken. Again, we're just going nice and, well, fine-ish dice. Right, so we just put the onion in with the meat, and now we're just going to add a few different flavours. I like to season it at this point. Don't go overboard, but you know, a good couple of twists of pepper. I do like pepper. It's quite a nice change. I'm also going to be using some Himalayan salt, which, oh my god, which is like pink, but it's basically a better source of like sodium than just normal salt. Again, don't go crazy with this one, but you know, you do want to keep your salt up just slightly, because it helps training, you see. And again, this is my personal thing. You don't have to do this, especially if you're dieting or anything like that, but OXO, I like OXO cubes. It gives a little bit more taste to it, and again, just a tiny amount. You're not going to really like worry about it. Like 3 grams serving is barely anything on that one. And then garlic chips. Now garlic, it's very similar to like garlic salt, just, you know, saves time of doing fresh garlic every time. And what I also am going to throw in a little bit of mixed herbs there, which has got like oregano, basil and a bit of thyme in there as well. So I'm going to put those in and then we'll get mixing. Right, so you mix all of your ingredients together, so it's nice and thoroughly mixed. And in this I'm actually going to be dividing it up into like smaller burgers, roughly about the same size, because we had 400 grams of mince, so usually that will feed me 2 meals, so get some out of that. So once it's done, it should be nice and mixed together. Again, you want always one hand free, like nice and clean, whereas that one, it's a dirty hand, so it just helps when you go around the kitchen, you just don't mess up everything. Right, I've put on my little plate here, I put a little bit of baking paper on, like just parchment, basically so we need to put these into the fridge just to rest slightly, so they chill, and basically that means when they cook, it's a bit easier, they don't fall apart as much. So, fingers crossed, well, he says. So, take a little bit of your mixture. This is where you get the other hand dirty. You want to squeeze it together now, and then in a basic like ball shape, and then just pat it out. Now we used to have little pans in kitchens where we used to actually mould them into, but I haven't got that anymore, so my hands will have to do. So, do a nice little burger like that, and do the rest of the mixture nice and even, and that will make the cooking time even as well. So, you've got your 4 burgers, 2 underneath there. We're going to put them in the fridge for about an hour, because my sister's coming home, so she can have some of those when she gets in. And we'll get on with the chicken next. Let's get started with the chicken. These are just chicken breasts, nice big ones. All I do basically with my chicken, I don't like my chicken dry, and I don't like grilling it or anything like that. I'm not really a big fan of that, because usually it does happen to be dry. So what I do is I get my roasting tin, I just lay the chicken in. Again, try to do one clean hand, one dirty hand. It should just about squeeze in. Might have to get the other one in the pan, or maybe even just a little other dish as well. So with that there, all I do with this is basically I put a little bit of water in. I only fill it to about halfway up. I don't want to totally cover the meat. And maybe just get rid of a little bit of some of that. So I don't. It's basically poaching. Right, so with the seasoning on my chicken, I sometimes use like different rubs and stuff like that. But today I'm going to be doing some herbs. One thing I do like to add, because it's like being cooked in water, I do like to add a stock cube. Again, people might be a bit wary of like stock cubes and stuff like that, but for the amount of chicken I've got here, one little stock cube isn't going to really damage my diet, really. Pretty sure I'm 100%. So just sprinkle that in. Again, doesn't matter if it's a little bit lumpy there, and then sprinkle in your herbs. So I've got a little bit of tarragon. So tarragon works really well in chicken, with chicken. So I'm gonna get a little bit of that in there. And the other one I'm using today is a little bit of an Italian seasoning as well. Now, Italian seasoning, you know, as it says on the tin, it's got quite a few different bits of like things that are going to be very Italian orientated. Nice oregano, and trust me, it smells damn nice right now. One thing I do not do right now is I don't put any salt in it at this stage. The reason being, I don't really like my chicken too salty anyway, but it would draw out all the good stuff from it. So I don't want to have that. It's like when you always season a steak, like, you know, at a later date, you don't do it, marinate it like that. So that there, I give it a little shake so some of the seasoning gets into the water there, and that's it. Put in the oven, gas mark 5, or like 200 degrees, 180 degrees, and just leave it in there. And now sometimes I do cover it, which I will be doing today, but you can actually just leave that there and it will be totally fine. And what I will be doing is about in 20 minutes I'll turn the chicken over. So so it's nice and evenly cooks, and all of it gets the flavour. Right, so while the burgers are in there, in the fridge, chilling, and also we've got the chicken in, cooking, I'm going to do some rice. Now, I usually only do rice in like small batches because I don't like stale rice or anything like that, so, but it's where the nice rice cooker comes in. Basically you just flick that switch and it turns itself off when it's done. So, the rice I usually go for, I'm not really a big fan of brown rice, just hard to chew, and it's not that nice. I mean, taste wise, doesn't really taste of anything, whereas this stuff, I can get it open, this is my usual go-to, just like basmati rice, just with the rice open, pretty much, you know. This is what came with the actual rice cooker itself. It's just like a cup measure. Now, one of these is exactly 1 cup, so it makes things a lot easier. And I usually do, like I said, small batches, so 2 cups of rice, raw, which is usually around 4 meals, like 4 cups. And what I used to usually do as well is I like to wash my rice, so I never really, like, basically in there right now is loads of starch, which will make it really sticky. Now I want my grains of rice to just go a little bit, you know, individual, so I'll just move you around, just come to there. Now again, you just want to basically just wash the rice. You can, what some people do is they like to soak it. I just wash it. It takes seconds anyway, so don't need to do much to it. So I wash it just until there's, if you see the water there, I don't know whether you can, but it's like a kind of milky consistency, like, you know, you can't see through it. That's all the starch coming out. Now you just basically wash until there is no more of that nice clear water. We have our rice there, washed off, and I've just drained it off so we can actually measure the water out now. The rule is every one cup of rice you put in, it's 1 cup of water. So we'll just do some cold water here, and we'll wash it down the sides because obviously I've drained it out. That's 1. There's 2. And I always just go another ½ cup just to be on the safe side. Don't want to have dry rice. And then, nice and easy, we just pop it in like so. And boom. Now, when that is done, it will flick up. At that moment, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some parsley, like dried parsley. Again, it's just my personal preference, I like that. Again, I mix that with all other foods, so I don't want to go too far. Right, so it's about halfway taste-wise now. It's probably about 30 minutes since I put it in. Ooh, my God. Careful, obviously, the steam. Now, there we go. So if you've got any tongs or anything like that, just flip your chicken. Nice and easy. Obviously be careful because it might splash back at you if you drop your chicken. So again, you do that. Recover it again. Another 20-30 minutes, it should be perfectly done. And the best thing about the water being in there is it doesn't overcook. So all those people that might, you know, sometimes forget about things, you know, you'll be fine. You'll be cush with this. Right then, that's done. The rice is just cooked. It's just clicked on to like a holding temperature now. And so this is the nice little part. Obviously be careful with steam and stuff like that. I just put a little sprinkle of parsley in there, and it will just basically give it some like taste and a nice smell, nice aroma. as it cools down. And don't panic, it will cook even more, but it will release the nice aromas of it and a lovely taste. You've got to love rice. And there we go. Just put the lid back on so it just keeps warm. In here, while I was waiting for I had that little bit of chicken left over, and I also had another batch of chicken ready, so I thought I'd do a little bit different with this one, and I went with Cajun spicy. So again, similar thing applies, just done exactly what I did before. I'm just going to turn these over. I'll have to back in for another 20 minutes, and again, really nice and easy, and so tasty. And as you can see, I've done probably 2, maybe 3 days worth of food easy within about an hour. So nice and easy, nice and simple. Alright, I'll put this back in the oven. We have our final product. This is the one with the herbs on. So I turn it back over, because basically all the moisture will be escaping from the bottom there. So now putting it back into the moisture, it's going to soak up, and all I do is pretty much put the foil back on top and just let it just cool down. If you wanted it to cool down a bit quicker, you could take it out and put it in some containers and stuff like that, but I'm happy I can just wait, so I'll leave that like that, and next we'll start cooking the burgers. So, right, so the burgers are chilled down, so they're a bit harder. Like I said, we chilled them down just to make sure that they're a little bit easier to cook and they don't fall apart as much. Now, I've got some just 1 calorie like oil, just a little spray. So we're just going to pump it up. Going to just spray the pan a little bit. It's just, again, it's a non-stick pan, so hopefully they won't stick. And then just let it heat up a little bit more. But you don't want it too hot. The reason being is they are quite thick burgers, so all we want to do is just basically cover them, like just seal them in, and then we're going to pop them in the oven. So I've just sprayed the tray just so it helps like just stick down the greaseproof paper. As you can see, I just flipped them before. Like I said, I don't really want to cook them too much on here. I want the oven to do most of the work. And again, the oven's still on from the chicken before. So, just plop them on there. And give them about, like burgers this size, maybe 20 minutes in the oven. And we should be ready. Alright then. So I've just put in a couple of pitters for Marianne. There's another one, and then we'll get this out. Now she wants some cheese on hers, so it's better not to argue and go through that. So again, I'm just going to put it on top. You good? You good? We'll just return it back in there just to let it melt. And while that's happening, we'll just sort out our lovely pickles. So, I don't know how everybody else does it, but do one corner off like that, another corner off, and then just ease the pocket open. It's going to be a nice, should be nice and ready for that. And you want tomato ketchup in. She wants a little bit of tomato ketchup in there. So shake it up first, so you don't get that water stuff in there. And just don't panic, it will go into it anyway. So ooh. Right, now those burgers should be done. Cool. Alright then. Now carefully, this is the moment of truth. Just want to slide those in. Obviously these ones have got cheese on. You don't always have to. And be careful you don't get onion. You don't have to put cheese on. Like I said, this is just for my sister, so there you go. And so we have two relatively healthy-ish burgers. And yeah. Right. So after a day of cooking, I came to the ultimate. Basically, this is where the prep stage, this is the best part really. You've got your rice there, all nice and cooked, ready to go in, and you've got your two different types of chicken. You've got the mixed herb with tarragon as well, and then you've got the Cajun spiced as well. So I've got the scales, got my little pot ready for it, and all I'm going to do is basically weigh everything out. Now I'm looking for around 150 grams, but it's up to you what you do. You know, everybody's different, everybody's like working to different goals. I'm just trying to get bigger. So around about, ooh, that'll do me fine. That's 152 grams. So just whack it in, and that's one meal's protein done. And then all I do, at the minute I'm doing roughly about a cup per meal of rice, and that's with my chicken and rice meals anyway. And there you go. So that's one meal ready to go, and all I need to do now is get some like vegetables or something like that to put on it, and 2 minutes in the microwave and it's done. Put a little bit of Nando sauce on it, just my little thing at the minute I'm addicted to. It tastes phenomenal. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and there'll be more to come.